Hello, everybody, and now it's time for one of my DVD weekly updates. And I have 7 movies, well, technically 8, and I'm just gonna do like a brief summary on them, and then I'm just gonna give my opinions onto them. First one would be Animal. It was an okay movie, wasn't my type of movie type deal. Uh, Vin Remez or whatever his name is, I can't pronounce it right. He acts in a lot of like Dawn of the Dead remake, a lot of zombie flicks nowadays. Um, he does a crime and he's this big mobster guy. They call him Animal, and he gets to serve time in jail. And his son eventually takes over his business. And after he comes out of jail, he learns about Malcolm X and the Black Revolution and everything like that. It's a good movie, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know why, but I just didn't care for it. Next movie I watched was one of my favorite from Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, and that is From Dusk Till Dawn. It's one of my favorite vampire movies, um, and yeah, also has Tom Savini into it, playing the role as Sex Machine, which is like I think a knockoff of Dawn of the Dead, because he's dressed almost the same way. I like his gun, like it's mounted to his crutch. Um, but George Clooney plays in this movie. He robs a bank and he tries to make it to Mexico to meet up with friends at the Titty Twister, I think it's called, the bar. And then all of a sudden, hell breaks loose after the sun goes down, and all the vampires come in. Very good movie. I would recommend it to anybody that's a vampire fan and a horror fan. This is a great movie. Next 2 movies I watched was Teen Wolf and Teen Wolf 2. I got the dual pack, and I hate how they did this movie. Flip this. The first one stars Michael J. Fox, which I'm a fan of because I love the Back to the Future movies, and I also love Teen Wolf 1. Teen Wolf 2, on the other hand, don't really care for it that much. It stars Jason Bateman. I don't know if it's because um, they changed the actor or whatnot, but I find it's just more slow paced, not as much stuff going on, whatnot, and that. And it's about boxing, and I'm not a big boxing fan. I ain't a basketball fan either, but I like the first one. Don't really care for the second one. Now, this is an underrated horror movie. I know a lot of people give it this and whatnot and that, but I really love it. And when this came out, I paid I think $15 for it. And I don't know if I mentioned it in my Horror Fest movies, but Feast. This movie is awesome. It's about creatures that were trapped in the woods or were in the woods for so long. They killed one, and then eventually the creatures trapped them in a bar, like a whole pack of them, and they just slaughtered the whole bunch. Like the creatures are ugly. They produce very fast. Like they had a little creature comes flying in, and it starts humping like a dead moose head, humping a girl. There's some sick scenes like with it's a dirty movie. Like the creatures are dirty. Like they'll eat their young, and then all of a sudden they'll have sex afterwards and produce another one. Like it's very very good. And actually, executive producers were Wes Craven, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ben Affleck, but yeah, I love this movie. And for its time, it was very gory and very bloody. Check it out if you haven't watched it. There's 3 movies, but I would recommend just watching the first one because the second and third one, I don't really care for that much. Next movie is Hellraiser, Hellworld, and I think this is the 8th installment into the series. And I'm starting to believe what people are saying is true, where they made scripts and they didn't sell to Dimension Home Videos, and then eventually they just added Pinhead to it so they could sell the movie. Lance Heckinson acts in this movie. Hickerson, sorry, from the Alien series and whatnot. You figure I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the gore into it is good, but it's not Pinhead style. Like, you don't see any hooks or anything like that. You see some main characters from the shows, like Pinhead, Chatterbox, and all that, but it's just missing the Hellraiser feeling. That's why I said I stopped watching them and judging them after the fourth one. Didn't really care for them. Next one is Adam Sandler in Little Nicky. I love this movie. I seen it like when it first came out and whatnot, and I always wanted it, and I picked this up like many years after. But to me, it's a great buy. I love the dog into it, Beefy, where he shoots a torpedo out of his dick, and he's like, "Oh, that's gonna hurt," and he just lays back. The son of the devils come to Earth, and it freezes the Hell's Gate, so nobody can get in. But yeah, it's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. Not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite. I would have to say either Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore would be my favorite Adam Sandler movies because I can watch those over and over, and I can watch this one over and over too. But yeah, like Rodney Dangerfield acts into this. Renee Witherspoon. No. The girl from Legally Blonde. I can't remember her name right now. Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, great movie. If you haven't seen it, well, technically, you haven't seen good comedy movies. Just kidding. If you haven't seen it, go pick it up or find it on the internet somewhere. It's a great movie to watch. And that's my weekly DVD watches. I hope you